The Minnesota Vikings have signed a veteran quarterback. That comes shortly after the news of a season ending shoulder injury for Carson Wentz, which we talked about in that video where we said, hey, the next step here is to sign another quarterback because there's no way the Vikings are going to continue the season without three quarterbacks in that or on that roster. Basically, now every team has three quarterbacks. It used to be a thing back a couple years ago where you only needed two, right? But then I think it was we seen like 100 or like 90 starting quarterback or 90 different starting quarterbacks in a season because of the amount of injuries, which led the NFL to change the rule that, hey, you can have three quarterbacks on your roster, it won't take up a spot. Basically, he's the emergency third quarterback, where if your starter goes down and then your backup goes in the game and he ends up going down, then you can put your emergency third quarterback in the ball game. So we knew the Vikings were going to make a move, but the move they made was an unexpected one. I don't like it, but it also signifies a different step forward. So let's get right into it. Before we do, shout out to our affiliate partners at Green Gridiron. If you want one of these mini helmets, the link for that is in the comment section. It's also in the description. You hit that link, use the promo code MINSYN, MINSYN at checkout to receive a discount on your purchase. If you don't want this Viking helmet, that's okay. They have the original, they have the throwback, but they also have all other 31 NFL teams, college football teams, and fully customizable helmets. So if that's something you would like, hit that link, use the promo code MINSYN, MINSYN at checkout to receive a discount. So let's get right into it. Who did the Vikings sign? Well, with Carson Wentz out for the season, the Vikings have added a veteran quarterback. Minnesota has signed John Wolford to its practice squad, the team announced on Wednesday morning. Wolford, who is 30, was most recently with the Jacksonville Jaguars last season and in this year's training camp before he was released in late August. But he played under Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell with the Los Angeles Rams when Kevin O'Connell was the Los Angeles Rams offensive coordinator from 2020 to 2021. Now, Wolford has appeared in 7 career regular season games with 4 starts, which were all for the Rams. He has not appeared in a contest since 2022, which is not great news, obviously, but J.J. McCarthy is expected to start at quarterback for the Vikings when they play the Lions in Week 9. Max Brosmer also remains on the roster at quarterback, and it has been announced J.J. McCarthy is good to go. They've talked to him in the media and stuff like that. He says he feels amazing. He's ready to rock and roll. Going to be a brutal matchup against the Detroit Lions, who just signed one of their pillars on defense in Aiden Hutchinson. But basically, let's get back to this signing. We knew we were going to sign somebody. What was the case, or what were we going to do? Were we going to sign someone? Were we going to trade for someone? Well, apparently we reached out to the Giants for to see what the availability of Russell Wilson was. That didn't kind of pan out at all, which thank goodness, because that would lead to a big controversy here in Minnesota, especially when we let Sam Darnold walk away, Daniel Jones walk away. We could have had Aaron Rodgers this offseason potentially. It just wouldn't have been smart to do that, to make that move. We also looked at the availability of Jameis Winston, which I don't know if I like that idea any more than what we had with Carson Wentz. It'd be kind of an interesting dynamic here in Minnesota. So there really wasn't many options left on the table, but one guy that popped up that I didn't expect the Vikings to make a signing of was John Wolford, and that's exactly what we did. Dude hasn't seen action since 2022. Yes, he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars this year, so he is in football shape, but there's 2 different things, right? There's football shape and there's practice shape and there's game shape, right? He has not played a game in a long time. He is not in game shape. What is he going to look like if we put him on that field, right? So what this signing tells me is, A, we're all in on J.J. McCarthy, especially if he stays healthy this entire year. But if he doesn't pan out, guess what? It's time to see what we have in Max Brosmer, and we could be looking at another Brock Purdy situation, because a lot of people were calling for Max Brosmer just last week when Carson Wentz was dealing with that shoulder injury. So maybe he has the spark we need to roll on. But this signing says, hey, This is JJ McCarthy's team. Don't expect John Wolford to see the field. He could potentially see the field in a scenario where JJ McCarthy doesn't look good, and O'Connell's like, yeah, he's the next guy up. I've been with him before. He can play some ball. He can play ball that's not going to look terrible. It's kind of like Nick Mullins in a way. Probably going to throw a bunch of picks, not look great, but he's going to keep the offense kind of afloat. I don't like the signing necessarily, just because if JJ McCarthy isn't what we expected, I want to see good football. I don't want to see terrifying football, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want to go in one week and have a great game, and then the next week we're like, what are we watching? I might as well have just walked down the street and watched this high school football team play rather than a professional sports team. So it's interesting. It is what it is, but this tells you right now the Vikings are all in on JJ McCarthy, and with the hopes that he is the future of this franchise, because we haven't seen much good football. Only one quarter out of his 6 or out of his 8 that he's played. So we'll see how this transpires, but Vikings add or sign veteran quarterback John Wolford to the practice squad. You guys let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of the night, folks, and Skol Vikes.